Welcome to the Mussar Torah podcast for Parshas Miketz. Join us as we explore the weekly Parsha, uncovering valuable insights and striving to become the best versions of ourselves through Mussar teachings. Picture this. Yosef, after years in an Egyptian prison, finally stands before Pharaoh. This could be his moment of triumph, his chance to shine. Pharaoh says to him, "I've heard you can interpret dreams." Now, imagine being in Yosef's shoes. Years of suffering, finally a chance of freedom. What would you say? Yosef's response is remarkable. He immediately says, Biladai, it is not through me. Elokim yaaneh shalom Pharaoh. Hashem will provide Pharaoh's welfare. The Alter of Kelm in Chochmas HaMussar points out there is something incredible going on here. Despite everything Yosef endured, the pit, being sold as a slave, false accusations, prison, his first instinct isn't to grab credit or show off his abilities. Instead, he immediately redirects all praise to Hashem. Let's dig deeper into this moment. The Midrash tells us that Yosef was only 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh. Think about that. A young man who spent his formative years in slavery and prison maintains such clarity about who he is and where his abilities come from. Rabbi Chaim Friedlander, in his works Sifsei Chaim, explains that this demonstrates the midah of emes, truth, at its highest level. Even in a moment that could change Yosef's life forever, he remains laser-focused on absolute truth. All wisdom comes from Hashem. There's more here. The Sifsei Chaim asks, why did Yosef need to say Biladai, not through me, before mentioning that Hashem would provide the answer? Couldn't he have simply said that Hashem would help? The answer reveals a profound insight into human nature. Often, we are willing to give credit to Hashem, but we want to keep a little bit of the credit for ourselves. We say things like, well, Hashem helped, but I also worked really hard. Yosef teaches us that this splitting of credit misses the point entirely. By saying Biladai first, he is completely removing himself from the equation. The Ramban takes this idea even further. He explains that Yosef's response wasn't just words or theological correctness. It showed his deep internalization of Ein Od Milvado. There is nothing besides Hashem. After years in darkness, this light never diminished. Rabbi Yerucham Levavitz Zeichel Levracha, the Mishkiach of the Mir Yeshiva, in his Sefer Da'as Torah, adds another layer to this. He notes that this moment wasn't just about dream interpretation. It was about Yosef's entire approach to life. Even when Yosef later becomes viceroy of Egypt and implements his brilliant economic plan, he still maintains this same perspective, that everything comes from Hashem. So the question is, how is it possible to apply this into our own lives? Let's try to break it down into some practical steps. First, we start with awareness. Notice how often we take credit for our successes, our promotions, our children's achievements, our creative ideas. We tend to see these things as products of our own abilities. Second, practice verbal recognition. When someone compliments your work, try saying, "Thank God," before "thank you." It might feel awkward at first, but it helps rewire our thinking. Third, and this is crucial, develop this awareness during challenging times. Like Yosef in prison, can we maintain clarity about Hashem's role even when things aren't going our way? Yeah, I know it is Easier said than done. Believe me, I know. But let's remember this. It isn't about diminishing our achievements or efforts. Rather, it is about understanding their true source and context. As the Chovas HaLevavos says in Shar HaBitachon, Perek Daled, this recognition actually brings profound joy and peace to us, knowing that everything in our lives is orchestrated by Hashem's infinite wisdom. Yosef went from prisoner to prince in a single day. However, his greatest achievement wasn't becoming viceroy. It was staying true to who he was. This week, let's aim for that same authenticity. This has been the Mussar Torah podcast. See you next week, and have a good Shabbos.